The Roman Empire didn't survive on brute force alone. It survived because its water didn't kill its people. While modern cities still struggle with pipes, toxins, and contamination, Rome quietly solved a problem we pretend is new. And here's the wild part. We only just realized how smart it really was. Before we dive in, if you want history that actually helps you survive the future, don't just watch. Lock this channel in like it's part of your emergency kit and subscribe now. Rome was fighting a war we forgot about. Clean water is power. Rome understood that early. Armies can march without food for days, but without water, everything collapses. The Romans weren't just obsessed with delivering water across miles of land. They were obsessed with making sure that water stayed usable once it arrived. This wasn't accidental. It wasn't luck. It was system-level thinking. Rome built water infrastructure as if disease was an enemy invasion. And in many ways, it was. Moving water was easy. Making it safe was the real genius. Aqueducts get all the glory. Massive stone arches, gravity-powered flow, engineering flex. But the real innovation happened after the water arrived. Roman water systems slowed water down on purpose. That matters. When water slows, heavy particles sink. Dirt, sand, organic waste. All of it settles naturally. The Romans designed channels and holding spaces where water could rest before being distributed. This was passive filtration, centuries before the word existed. They didn't need electricity. They didn't need chemicals. They used time, gravity, and physics. And it worked. The stone that cleaned water without anyone noticing. Here's the part that shocked modern researchers. Roman water channels slowly built up mineral layers along their walls. For years, this was seen as a flaw. Clogging, inefficiency, poor maintenance. Wrong. Those mineral layers acted as a natural barrier. They trapped heavy metals. They reduced contamination from the pipes themselves. In some cases, they even limited exposure to toxins that would have otherwise leached into drinking water. Rome accidentally invented a self-healing filter system. The longer it ran, the safer it became. Modern plumbing fights build up. Rome let it work. Why Rome's water didn't poison its cities is, well, a fascinating story. There's this long-running myth out there that Roman water systems doomed the empire because of toxic materials. But honestly, the truth is more complicated and, far more impressive. The mineral coating inside Roman pipes actually reduced direct contact between water and harmful substances. That coating wasn't just decorative. It was protective. Over time, it sealed the system from itself. In other words, Rome built pipes that, in a way, learned how to behave. While modern systems rely on constant treatment, Rome relied on design. Maintenance was a survival skill, not just a job. Rome didn't just build these systems and walk away. Water infrastructure was treated almost like a living thing. It was inspected, cleaned, repaired, protected. Workers understood flow rates, sediment buildup, and structural wear. This knowledge wasn't theoretical. It was practical survival science passed down through hands-on experience. The system worked because humans stayed part of the loop. That's a lesson we've unlearned. Modern cities depend on complex treatment plants, chemicals, and energy-intensive processes. When those systems fail, everything fails fast. Rome's system was resilient. It didn't collapse overnight. It degraded slowly, and that gave people time to respond. This is why engineers are suddenly paying attention again. So, passive purification, gravity-driven systems, and mineral-based filtration, these were all part of Rome's low-energy design. And Rome wasn't primitive at all. It was actually durable. Here's the real takeaway. Rome didn't design for perfection. Instead, it designed for endurance. Water systems back then weren't built to be perfectly clean on day one. They were built to stay usable for decades, to adapt, and to improve with use. That mindset is, well, almost gone today. We build fast and replace often. But Rome built once, and expected the system to outlive its builders. What survivalists and preppers should steal from Rome? If you care about self-reliance, this really matters. You don't need complex tech to purify water. All you need is smart flow, some settling time, and materials that actually improve with age. Rome teaches us that simplicity scales. Maintenance, well, it beats replacement. Passive systems outlast active ones for sure. In a crisis, the system that needs the least intervention, that's the one that wins. Rome definitely knew that. Why was this knowledge lost? Well, because it wasn't flashy. There were no moving parts, no explosions, and no dramatic breakthroughs. Just quiet systems, doing their job day after day. History loves drama. Survival loves reliability. And that's why Rome's water genius faded into the background, until, modern science caught up and realized what was hiding in plain sight. The real revelation is this. The Roman Empire didn't just conquer land, it conquered biology. It understood sediment, minerals, flow, human behavior. It built water systems that protected populations long before germ theory even existed. That's not ancient history. That's a masterclass in survival engineering. And honestly, it's one we desperately need to relearn. If this opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Go ahead and share this with someone who thinks history is useless. And if you want more real survival lessons buried in the past, hit subscribe and stay with history's survival code. Because, well, the future belongs to those who remember what worked.